catch up with current webinars. So what I would do, Natano, what I've said to a lot of people is, if you can watch webinar 100 or a recent webinar and understand everything that's being discussed, then you can start testing those concepts and trades and get used to them, right? That's fine. One of the best ways that you can really do this for yourself, in all honesty, is just show up to recent webinars like this one. So congrats on being here, and watch as we once again break down a market and the expectation on it, and then redraw those same expectations on your chart. When I say this is a reaccumulation, mark that. Be like, Ment said this right here is a reaccumulation. Go back in your own time and say, why is that, right? Well, it was higher protected lows into a breakdown. What else could have been pointing to the fact that it's bullish? The 3-day, right? The 3-day has been very, very bullish. So you can mark these things, and then over time, you're going to get very, very used to the way that we approach these markets. When I create a story about S&D, and what broke the structure, should I consider the last move before a big move, even a tiny that could break the structure? Should I take? What do you mean? This sounds like maybe 1/3 through the course kind of question. Use the course is my answer to that. I don't really understand it. Maybe a photo is better for me. Hanton created a journal. I'm currently at 300 plus trades and 3 years worth of data. I wrote down all the monthly returns and it looked very promising. What would you say are the next steps now before taking it live? Well, so as you all know, I will never tell you to take something live. Let's see, normal. So you're very low SL based system generally. So probably scaling, you can scale to probably $3 million, $4 million before this begins to become a little bit of an issue, but it's all on EU. So you should be okay up until like 3-4 mil, maybe a little bit less, but it should be good. 100K starting, got up to $1 mil. Yeah, looks good. Max drawdown, sure. These all look great, man. Yeah. Great RR curve, clear EV, clear positive EV. Equity curve, beautiful, just equity curve. Just going to keep getting more exponential. Looks good. The next steps is deciding how you want to actually execute. If you think if you're actually ready, then go for it. If you don't, jump on a demo, forward test for 3 months, maybe get to 50 trades, get to 10 trades, get to 30 trades, see if you can do that while following rules and not doing dumb shit. If you can, you're probably in a boat where there's no reason you shouldn't be either getting funded or doing it yourself with a personal account. Risk management on your trades can let you win even when you're wrong. Yep, that's a huge one. Unconscious incompetence, you are unaware of the skill and your lack of proficiency. Then you're aware of the skill but not yet proficient. You are able to use the skill but only with effort, and then perform the skill becomes automatic. Yeah, that's what learning looks like. Yeah, good stuff. Is there a way to calculate RR in Excel based on price enter and price exit? Yeah, you can make your own you can make your own column, right? If you make your own column so think about it like this. If you just made your own column, right? Entry price, let's say it's 1.10000, and then close price, you make it equal to 99903, right? Is that the same? Sure. And then you go pips equals, what is this? This minus this. Right, so that's how many pips it moved or whatever. Right? Something like that. And you could go, your stop loss, let's say it was at 888, whatever. So this is pips TP. Then you have your pips stop. So your pips and stop was the entry price minus the stop price. And you could go, just get the absolute value of that. And then you could go RR equals how much you made over how much you are risking. And there's your RR, right? So just like you can you can add these if you want. That's how you could do it through prices. But yeah, it's up to you, man. Okay, so we're actually going to break down. So yeah, we're going to break down some trades now because I don't want to go too deep into the question side, because a lot of this is going to be focusing on, well, actually I could cut up the webinar for the people that are watching the remastered. So it might be okay. But yes, we're going to break down trades now. You look like you're sweating? I'm not sweating anymore. I'm good now. I got the air on, so we're chilling. Do I actually look like I'm sweating? Let's see. Let's see. No, I look good, bro. What are you talking about? We're chilling. Can you break down your trades for the week? The 4-hour UJ play looked a bit sus. Could have easily created 8-hour, blah, blah, blah. And the 1 hour could have easily been a redistribution model. Sure. Sure. Let's go over UJ first, and then we'll go over the rest. So my best trade this week was on EJ. Absolutely banger. Complete fucking banger. Out of nowhere. Beautiful 7.5R trade right here. Just nuts. Off of this beautiful little ICI right here. And we can talk about that. But all the XXX JPY pairs all were just delivering clean. Took a -1 here and here on it, but whatever, it is what it is. UJ, yeah, didn't take this during the same time. So a lot of stuff started to set up at the same time. GJ also took just a small win on that, and then it broke even, and then gave just a beautiful move. My gosh. CJ also same thing. Didn't take this one, but just beautiful moves up. AJ, same thing. Just so many. I didn't take this one as well. Just showing the example. These all happen at the same time. So a lot of the XXX JPY pairs are just bullish and moving bullish, and this week is going to be bullish, or I'm expecting bullish, but we'll talk about that in a second. Hey, Anton, been backtesting for a while. I see sometimes you say price is dog shit, but I see certain models on them, but you say you won't touch them. Sometimes I get confused about bad price action. Well, there's always going to be a model present. Just because a model is present doesn't mean the movement of the price is clean. The model can be present and the movement of the price could be so choppy that any entry would be met with a potential exit because of the fact that price is just choppy, right? Or it's moving in such a way that it's just very, very weird, not moving in a given direction. Maybe not, you could say maybe not sailing a moving average, right? So like if you look at this, if I asked you about UJ right now on the 15-minute, for Trake, let me ask you something about UJ here. For this bullish market, which has been proven to be bullish and has a model that's very bullish here, does it look like price on average is basically stair-stepping its way higher and then surfing the MAs nicely? Or does it look like it's chopping the living shit out of everything and not giving any entries anywhere? Right? So if you just had to give a quick explanation to that, which one would you probably say it is? Yeah, so I would also say it's generally surfing too, right? It looks like it's reaccumulating pretty nicely. Okay, so let's talk about something that might be a little bit more dog shit. So GBP CAD maybe. You know, these pairs are usually more shitty. I don't know. What are bad pairs? People love the bad pairs. What do we call them? GBP CAD, something else. CAD CHF, sure. Yeah, those are almost always going to be shit. Well, here it wasn't bad. This is clean, and then it got really bad again. Yeah, GPCHF. That one's almost always bad. Yeah, okay. Cool. So, like, this is generally just chop all over the place. No matter what the models were saying, bullish or bearish, in general, you're chopping across the board. There's no clean markup or markdown to this thing, right? This is terrible. Right here, this is price action I'd look at, even if it's bullish, right? Which it might be, right? Because look, accumulation model, reaccumulation, accumulation into reaccumulation. But look at this. It's just so choppy. Clean like no mitigations. No, mitigation's fine, but this is not this is mitigating, right? But look at how it's moving, dude. It's just terrible. It's every time it makes a move, it chops back. Makes a move, chops back. Makes a move, chops back. Makes a move, chops back. Everything chops back. The only time this had decent moves was around right here and right here. That's the only time this has ever been clean. Everything else has been chop, chop, chop. So nothing is continuous. Yeah. Well, you want to find things that can be continuous, right? The point of trading, or at least being with the trend, is that you get into something and then it just wants to continue. Or like the odds of continuing are higher, right? Do you have a discount code for TradingView? No, sir. I do not. But maybe I should get one. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah, dude, I'm so sad. I am just such a bad trader, dude. I should not have moved to break even on this. I did because it was just so strength. I was like, oh, it's nice strength. It shouldn't come back. Broke even like to the pip. Just under. And then took off. So sad. Oh, follow your rules, guys. Follow your rules. Don't make the mistakes that I make. Jesus, so stupid. So absolutely dumb. Okay, let's talk about the trades this week. Let's talk about, and in reference to them, what we expect into the next week. So this is going to be outlook / trade breakdown, and we'll go from there. Do I clean out my charts for a new trading day? Dude, almost never. This is still here from like 3 weeks ago. You kind of did follow your rules though, no? Yeah, very close. So strengthy move, but it didn't reach, like, sometimes I'll do it at 2RR, but it didn't reach anything worthwhile, and it never based, right? If anything, I should have moved to break even on this candle expansion. So on this candle right here, so I'll tell you what I should have done. Because the shoulda, coulda, woulda game is very fun, but on this candle, when it was around here, if I moved to break even at that point, that would make sense. Or on this candle, when it broke out and started breaking out around here, if I moved to break even, that's also good. The fact that I didn't let this naturally correct, because again, corrections are normal in the market. The fact that I didn't let this naturally come back is why I ate shit and didn't get rewarded for this move. I should have let this correct normally. Here's the first area I should have considered a break even, to put it simply. But that's okay. It happens. It's nothing's wrong with that. It's nothing gained, nothing lost. So it's going to be okay. How many pips before you put your stop loss to be? I don't do in pips. I do in movement. I do in price movement, right? So like, for instance, if you entered, let me give you an example. If you entered this ICI right here. So right here you have like a little, it's a little bit weird, but like this ICI, if you entered this one, right, and you bought, let's say in this candle, like so, with your stop under the low, I wouldn't move this thing to break even until this candle right here began to expand, because now it's coming out of a new range. So at that point, there's no reason it should come here, and then you can move this to break even. ICI, it's not retail. No, no. Well, everything is retail. Everything that is done is retail. We're all retail, just so you know. But no. No. So yeah, that's what ICI is part of the moon phases. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, let's break down some stuff. So for a long time now, a very long time, a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, we've been very bullish on UJ, right? So this price has been very bullish ever since it began this move back here. We stayed out of it, as a lot of you remember. Price comes into this weekly demand zone, comes right under it. We assume absorption, but we don't know, so we just waited. As it began to make the breaks to the top side and made a double MB up, we started to go very long on this. We started assuming long. We had a refined area here on a 3-day, I believe. Price tapped in and began to build 2.0s. We began to be very long on UJ around these areas right here, and then very, very long on it here. Price took off. We expected it to blow up. As it went sideways here, we expected it to blow up again. It did. From there, we expected price to do one of two things, either just continue going, which is easy, or set up a reaccumulation. So we were ready for both of those. And then all of a sudden, as you remember, on a lower time frame, price did make that start breaking down. So it began to show a distribution model. So the people that were long on higher time frames just walk away. So this red area shows where I walked away and completely didn't trade a single thing, didn't touch it at all. And the people that were lower time frame traders had opportunities on the short side here to get involved until it finally failed. From there, we got an MB break to the top side, right? Because we didn't know that this was going to turn bullish. So price is still very, very bearish. Price breaks down, but we assume reaccumulation. The daily is clearly in likely reaccumulation and could go long here or could break down again before going long. But we assume that it might want to go long due to reaccumulation method that we teach. Now the 1 hour begins to break long, comes back to the deepest point right here, SSC. In this case, it absorbs it, but we don't really care about that. Begins to move long. So everything's pointing to some form of longs here. Didn't take this one. Started going long, long, long. So, double MB here on the hourly. Everything's showing longs. On the 4 hour, very simply, if you just follow intermediate, right? You have intermediate break, intermediate break, intermediate break. So multiple intermediate breaks plus intermediate SSCs being supported, which basically is showing you that there's money coming in on the long side. So any ICIs or reasons to go long make sense here. And at the same time, even on the 4 hour here, the most recent up move before the down move is this one right here, which means that you have free money space, even if it comes to coming to the supply. But we're not even ever looking to sell here. We're just looking to, of course, expect this. And then very simply, Price makes an ICI. So whether you view it from just the correction and then it expands out, or whether you view it from an MA standpoint, where price makes a move, begins to surf the rising 10, gets tight across the top and breaks out. That's the breakout I personally took off that 4-hour breakout. Very, very simple. Got in, shouldn't have done anything, should have managed accordingly, and then this would have been the delivery. But got broken even on that trade, so I'm not in it anymore, and that's it for that. But the expectation stands. Nothing's wrong here. Everything's looking phenomenal for longs to continue. So the expectancy into the coming week is that longs want to continue. Look to take out the next high right here and then onwards, right? The opposite side of that is that if you're a lower time frame trader, very simply, it's still very bullish even on a lower time frame. So here on a 15-minute, if I asked you guys, if you're a trader on a 15-minute or below, does it make sense for you to start watching for shorts right now? I'd say no, it really doesn't, right? Maybe you can make an argument on a 1 minute. So look at this. So on a 1 minute, you're getting a little bit of back and forth, MB1, MB1, and now it broke long. Now, if on a 1 minute, price broke short MB1, maybe made an MB2, could you confirm areas like these or start following 15-second time frames short for a little bit? I'd say yes. That's where that lower time frame traders, they can excel. That's fine. Those shorts are there, right? That's the example of the fact that, you can still be on that side, but you need to understand when it's time to do that. Right now, though, if you're trading 5 minute or above, there is never a reason you should be looking to short this market. This market is showing longs right now, right? So we just need to keep that in mind. But if you're 1 minute or below, a breakdown of an MB here could be okay for some kind of short, maybe down into some area here, and then you're good. But overall, the bias stands. Nothing has changed. Everything is moving long. The expectancy is long. Nothing has changed there. And yeah, the expectancy is that this price just wants to keep going. There's no reason it shouldn't. So expectancy is to go. So UJ longs are still good, which means in tandem, GJ longs are the shit right now. And you can see it perfectly set up now and moved into the context. So a lot of back and forth into MB1, MB2. Price comes to the second MB, makes an MB1 break. So everything is at SSC and actually in markup phase right now. GJ is looking for this high this week. No reason it shouldn't. And then hopefully onwards, right? This is just showing straight bullishness. So GJ, CJ, same thing goes. Ignore this area here. It's not needed. Bullish. AJ, same thing goes. Bullish. So what I would do is I'd wait for the ones that are showing the most strength. If you ask me which ones are showing the most strength right now in this moment on, let's say, an hourly, well, let's take a look. EJ, made brand new high, made an MB1, is kind of under this low right now. UJ made a brand new high through an MB1, didn't even reaccumulate. So UJ is the strongest at the moment. GJ also reaccumulated off the SSC. Now it's breaking higher. CJ, very, very strong as well. Very big correction down. UJ couldn't even have that big of a correction. So right now, clearly, USD JPY of the XXX JPY pairs is showing the most bullishness, right? So setups on this one, if they happen, are probably going to be the strongest, right? That's how you look at the strongest market in regards to relativity. EU. So a few trades on this thing, but I don't think these were this week, right? 12th of July, yeah, these were not this week. These were last week. We went over those last week. And yeah, I mean, this is just lower time frame. Shorts make sense. You're fine if you're following shorts. But right now, I'm waiting for a higher time frame reason to go long. Everything is pointing long. Price can keep going if it wants to until it gets to some SSCs down here for longs. Why did I close them EU trades? Bro, I told you. This one was a mistake. But yeah, that's part of the game, man. I spoke about this one last week. So yeah, longs on EU are still good. Wait for either MB1 or an SSC to come in before we start following that long. Otherwise, lower time frame shorts at the moment make sense. EJ, this week was absolutely beautiful. And again, goes hand in hand with the same thing on UJ and stuff, right? So daily, clearly bullish, just moving bullish. I mean, MBs are going bullish, nothing to do. Price comes into the deep portion of it, absorption, so expecting SSC to go long. Lower time frame begins to move long, right? Reaccumulation model. Simple. Increasing protected lows. Sorry about that. Increasing protected lows. Price breaks short. Price breaks long. That's reaccumulation confirmed or reaccumulation in general to expect the longs. And then lower time frame undergoes accumulation or just basic MB1, MB2 into SSC, 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 plays off the SSC through the absorption, starts going higher. I start watching and stalking for longs around these points here as it begins to go long. I think I entered this on a 15-minute. Let's double check. So you can see in the week, during the week, I looked to take the long off of this thing as well. Started to break out. I think that was a 30-minute trade. Let me double check for you guys. Yep, there it is. So here on a 30-minute, it made an MB break off of during reaccumulation. So I took a long off of this breakout right there. Boom. See what the MA is too if you really wanted to. Took this long, instantly failed, took a -1 there. Price came down into the deeper portion to make a higher time frame reaccumulation or absorption of an SSC. Began to move long again. Then off this 15-minute, very, very simply, you can have your MAs or not, doesn't really matter. Start surfing the MAs higher, gets tight across the top, breaks out, or just ICI or ICI, however you want to view that. All pretty much the same kind of concept, just a question of how you view it. Took that breakout through the high as it started to come, so it was more like that. Took this breakout out through the high, took off 50% at 1 to 2, closed the rest. So price kept going, and then as it came down, as this began to break down, so during this down candle, I exited this trade right here for a 7.5 R gain, which this was just my best trade of the week right here. And then I tried to take another one right here off of a 1 hour. Can't tell you, don't know. What the fuck was wait, why did I even take this? It looks terrible now that I'm looking at it, but am I crazy? Let me double check. I mean, I know I took this, but I want to find out. It might have been a lower time frame or something. Oh, okay. Yeah, so just another 15-minute ICI. So I assumed reaccumulation again, and then I entered this. Honestly, looking at this, I should not have probably entered this. So actually a bad trade, but -1 on that one, all good. Took that loss, and then price took off at the end of the week. So same thing. And again, as per the XXX JPYs, expecting longs on this. Nothing really to do there. EU, so yeah, EU short on lower time frames, longs on higher, is waiting for the longs to show. GU, reaccumulation model, clean, looks good. Coming into the 2.0, it looks like. There it is. Yep, so if this begins to show bullishness, no reason this can't start making a run. Gold, same thing, reaccumulation, just a little bit choppier, it looks like. Just a bit choppier, a wee bit choppier. Was watching for an ICI inside of here, but nothing happened. No power came in to give me a setup, so just kept going down. Nothing to touch there. Yep, so nothing there. Main things are EU or XXX USD longs waiting for, and then XXX JPY longs are good to go in my book. What if UJ puts in a new high and breaks down after? That's cool. It can do anything, right? If we see a structure in the 15-minute, but we enter based off of the 5-minute or 1-minute, do we TP from the 5-minute, 1-minute, or 15-minute itself? I think you know the answer to that, dude. What do your rules say? He made it up for EJ. Yep, EJ was good, man. Quick question. When you have multiple contracts, do you still count a loss as -1 R, or do you if you have 3 contracts? No, R is just a measure of how much you're risking per trade. If I have a $100,000 account and I'm risking 3% on that account, that's 3K. 3K is equal to 1 R. That's it. So if I say -1 R, I've lost 1 unit of my risk in regards to what I'm risking. It's not on contracts. If it was on contracts, it would just sound weird. It'd be like, oh, minus 20 lots is -20 R. That makes no sense. R is a measure or a static measure of the risk. How much do you usually risk now? 0.75%. The same thing shared in section 4. I have a little thing there. I've been watching the YouTube videos for over a year, and I joined the mentorship. I know the real work is through the webinars, but should I really be afraid? Nothing to be afraid of. You're going to learn everything, and you're actually going to learn, things that are going to actually propel you forward. So you're fine. There's nothing to be scared of. Be ready to be confused and enjoy the process. Life is, after all, about, learning things about yourself and then improving on them over and over and over again until you die. or until you don't care about improving anymore. EuroCAD ready for some nice ICI delivery yet on the 1 hour? I mean, yeah, the bullish is definitely in effect. The daily, you know, has maybe a reason to stop. Maybe a little bit. The 1 hour is doing a little bit of back and forth right now. So honestly, I think this is an accumulation model or in retaining distribution or redistribution at the moment. So I would wait probably for some kind of ICI or ICI. And then around these points, if that happens, off a double MB or off a, sorry, not ICI, sorry, off an SSC or off a double MB as they come in, then you can start following the ICIs, right? But right now, I don't think it's ready. It doesn't look too ready just yet. Not just yet, but we're getting there. NAS. Oh, what's NAS up to? So the longs delivered beautifully, just like we discussed. I mean, daily still showing bullishness. Nothing else to do there. 4 hour. 4 hour reaccumulation. Another reaccumulation right there? Probably not. You're probably going to look at a sideways or down week on NAS, but I would not trade it. And on the other hand, if you just start getting pops out of nowhere again, right, then you're good. Start following it. Right now, though, it's looking like a down or sideways week on this thing. Daily overextended. Yeah. Let me rephrase it a bit. Can we look for 15-minute shorts or below? Something like this happens. If you want to. I don't see it. This looks like reaccumulation to me. US 30 looks better. Yeah, so US 30 is just the strong one. Yeah, so US 30 is much stronger relative wise, right? Let's see. Well, US 100 is very, very high up. So US 30 could just be catching up. So US 30 is actually very weak in relation, right? So US 100, look at this thing. This thing is just higher, higher, higher. US 30 has been like reaccumulation. But seeing as that's the case, you know, we might get that downwards or sideways market during the week, and then you'll see the explosion probably into the following week. So it looks the same as NAS. Looks good. Quick question about the men funding Discord is bro, no one's gonna reach out to you. Like, no one's gonna reach out to you. There's so many scammers. Just no, it's not a real person. Okay, figured it wasn't asking for anything C. Oh, okay. Well, all good, man. No worries. All right, guys. So listen, that's what we're looking at for the week. I'm gonna get this webinar out for the team, and I'm also going to get the cut portion of it for the remastered area, so I can make the initial risk first, maximize experience, and webinar 100 start the fundamental building blocks to those that go through the newest stuff. I hope the little psychological lesson today, or at least the fundamental lesson of focusing on risk first and maximizing experience, helped some of you or a lot of you, because you know it's hard to just hear, or I mean it's easy to hear, oh, losses are part of the game, here we go, and it's hard to actually understand what that means until you start seeing firsthand what that looks like, right? When it looks like from a standpoint of strategy, what that strategy looks like, and then actually understanding how you're going to make money with that strategy if you start thinking about risk and start thinking about taking real losses and stuff, right? So I think it's going to be a very, very crucial and good starting point for those people, and I think it's going to lay a fantastic foundation for them to actually go through the course and learn, you know, firsthand what we do. And apart from that, I want to thank all of you for showing up today, for being here, for shooting the shit, for shooting some messages over, and for asking, for those of you that asked stuff. So yeah, guys, let's have a very good upcoming week. Let's enjoy the rest of our Sundays and get started with this upcoming week in a very good way. I want to wish you all a very good week in trading. Have a phenomenal rest of your Sunday, regardless of what it is that you're doing. And I'm going to see a lot of you in the trade talks. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here.